Let me come to you, Dr. Isuola. From what we've seen in 2000, talking about the political control of the states within the southwestern region, and what we have now, and what it looks like, what may happen in the nearest future, say in 2015, what we see, the dynamics. Do you see it changing? Do you see, does it look like a change of ideology?
Well, if you say change, yes, I will accept. But a change of ideology, I'm afraid, I will not go in that direction, because as it stands now in Nigeria of today, there is no political party that has what you call ideology in the strict sense of the word. However, things are changing. We are beginning to witness pure democracy, if I may put it that way. You see, when people talk about democracy, they often forget that democracy does not promise anybody good governance. Democracy does not promise anybody that whoever performs well becomes the winner. These are merit-based issues. What democracy promises you is that the man who represents the majority wins the election, in line with the principle of vox the populi, vox Dei. So, if the man who does not do anything at all, if the man who knows nothing but to speak, drink, dance, and marry, appears to be the one that is very close to the heart of the people will elect the man, and of course it begins to govern you. So, the way we are now, we are beginning to see that people really matter in politics. Before, it used to be the elite, it used to be one godfather somewhere, it used to be one opinion molder. But now, reflections are coming that indeed and in truth, democracy is nothing but government of the majority. So whatever the majority wants is what becomes democracy.
So can we say that of the Ekiti elections?
Exactly. That's why eventually I will rest my analysis. You see, there was an incumbent governor who was working in court, because when you say a governor is working, it has to do with series of interpretation. Again, when you say a governor is working, you need to find out the type of work. People are like women. Women don't want to be loved the same way. The same way, you will not develop a people the same way. The way you want to develop an Hausa Fulani population is not the way you want to develop a Yoruba man in the Southwest, because they have different values, different dominant socio-political and economic patterns, and many other things. So maybe the people in Ekiti wanted a different form of development that Fayemi did not give them. Maybe Fayemi thought, this is the kind of development I envision for my people. And the people say, no,
that's not what we want.
So we'll discuss it later.
All right, okay.
Just a moment. About the people.
I mean, what happened, what we saw in Ekiti, before I allow Chima to come in, what we saw in Ekiti, and what happened, the step Dr. Kade Fayemi brought into the game seems to have given the political game in the Southwest, and in fact in Nigeria, a new name. I'll allow you here again. You've heard it so many times, but I'll allow you here again what Kade Fayemi said just after the result. In fact, few hours after that particular result came in, and they lost in that particular election also.
Following the gubernatorial elections held in the Land of Honor, Ekiti State, Nigeria, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has officially returned the candidate of the People's Democratic Party as the winner of the election. If indeed this is the will of the Ekiti people, I stand in deference to your will. If the result of the election is an expression of the voice of our people, we must all heed your voice. About 30 minutes ago, I spoke with my brother, Mr. Peter Fayose, congratulating him on his victory. In a few hours from now, on Monday morning, I will be meeting the governor-elect to discuss the future of our dear state and how we would work together to institute a smooth transition program.
All right. Very good. A lot of comments came in just after Dr. Kayode Fayemi made that particular speech, and people are wondering, in what manner has he consulted with his party? Is he making this move on his own? But some people are also saying that this is a very interesting pattern that is emerging in our political atmosphere, where the PDP are saying, well, when someone is beating 16-0, you can't but just come out in this manner. Let me allow Chima to come in and tell us exactly, what do you make of this particular political behavioral pattern that we've seen in Kayode Fayemi, and what happened in Ekiti, considering what we are about to see emerge in some other states in the southwest?
Well, first and foremost, like so many people have commended the governor of Ekiti State, because he's still the governor, for coming out to make that statement timeously, because the timing was very crucial. It helped to douse tension. It takes one or two people to foment trouble among the population of 1 billion people. That statement he made, accepting the reality on ground. You said 16-0. I think it was an intelligent assessment of the situation on ground, that from the look of all things in the election, forget about small pockets of skirmishes that were reported, especially the people of the party saying militarized and all that. There's not been any statement impugning the integrity of that election. And no less a personality than the governor of the state, who is really an interested party after going through this. That was like what happened in 2011 during the PDP primaries. It was so flawless in the face of it, as we saw on television, that nobody went to court to challenge the incumbent for anything, because even though they were so aggrieved, the vice president, Atiku, was not happy with all, but what could they do? Because they say the ballot box is the most painless killer. You have only yourself and the ballot box to antagonize. The people have made their statement. The only thing that is important is, was that process free, fair, and manifestly so? Once it is free, fair, are you going to get people from their villages to say, why didn't you vote for me? And so the allegation of even that there was money, there was rice, is not necessary, because all political parties have sinned and therefore have come less in glory to stand before the electorate to vaunt their integrity. I don't know whether you get the point. So it's like a situation where a thief who had no pickup went to a house to steal fridge, and he put the fridge on the road and went to bring the deep freezer and kept it near the fridge. He had gone to bring the big television so that he will now go and look for a pickup. Another thief doing a round with his pickup to see if he could get something to steal now sees the fridge and collects it. Will you come out and say that you have lost your fridge? The thief will not do so because he had no fridge. You understand? Yeah. So all the political parties, not anyone less, if they have the opportunity, they will do what the other one they were accusing of any infringement would have done. It's a question of you coming with AK-47, the other one having a pistol of two rounds. You kneel down for the man with AK-47.
It appears it's a bitter pill for the APC, because when they are considering now going into Osun governorship election, which is just about a few weeks away, there is a new statement or kind of an understanding coming from the party this time around. The party met in Osun State. The leaders of the party, so to say, met in Osun State, and the national vice chairman of the party in the south came with this very, very statement. And I'll allow you to hear him. Then my guest here will wade into it.